Welcome aboard Qantas Airlines. Authentic flavors from down under. But yeah, we had the Young Lean DJ set going.
Not under.
Yeah, but he was doing... Oh yeah, I was doing Young Lean voice. Where I'm pretending to... I get Young Lean's crazy haircut. And I'm going...
How's Young Lean talk?
He talks like this. He's like, hey, hello, I am from Miami. How we doing? And I have a crazy haircut where my head is shaved, but just in the middle, like in a big line. But yeah, we got great stuff to read. You ready to read?
Yeah, we got Russian.
We got the Russian book. I'm back on the Russian book. Gonna black out the Russian book soon. Not really. Got a lot more to go, but we're doing it in order right now.
We might finish it tonight.
Yeah, we just got 300 more pages, and then we can finish it. Might just do it pretty quick. Might just pop it off the top, just to get into the mood. Yeah, get ready to read. You're gonna read The Old Woman Who Ran Away. So that's second after me. The Fiddler in Hell. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. Once there was a peasant who had 3 sons. He lived richly, gathered 2 potfuls of money, and buried one pot in the threshing barn and the other under the gate. The peasant died without having told anyone about his money. One day, there was a holiday in the village. Okay, so that guy died. There's a guy, he had 2 pots of money. He buried one in the barn.
Yeah.
And then one under the gate. And then he died.
We didn't tell anybody. Or maybe he did.
He didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
One day there was a holiday in the village. A fiddler was walking about leisurely.
On the roof.
When suddenly he fell through the ground and found himself in hell.
Okay.
At the very spot where the rich peasant was being tormented.
Cool.
What? Wait, who's... Okay, there's just... What do you mean the... Okay, so there's a rich peasant.
I think
there's a fiddler and a rich peasant.
And the rich peasant is maybe
the guy who died who had 3 sons at the beginning.
And he's in hell, obviously.
Yeah,
and
he was just... No, yeah, he was in hell where the fiddler fell.
And the fiddler fell all the way down and happened to see the guy up there.
Yeah, at the very spot the rich peasant was being tormented. "Good day, my friend," said the fiddler. The peasant answered, "You have fallen into the wrong place. This is hell, and I am in hell."
Yeah.
"But uncle, why were you sent here?" "Because of my money. I had a great deal of it, but I never gave to the poor, and buried 2 pots of it in the ground. Now I will be tormented, struck with sticks, and lacerated with claws."
I mean, it was pretty stupid.
"What shall I do? I might be tormented too." "Sit on the stove behind the chimney. Do not eat for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Thus you will be saved."
We need another player to do that.
Okay, so also I was reading another one, a previous story, and it talked about this sitting on the stove.
Yeah, what is...
I don't know. They were talking about the other one like I'm supposed to know what that means when you sit on the stove. But I guess you're just cold. It's like when it's cold. Like it's not an expression. They're just describing her sitting on a stove, I think.
Yeah. Because that's the one hot thing when it's really cold and you're in
Yeah, I don't, I guess it's more of a location. We're supposed to be familiar with that location.
But maybe it's like, also like you're not eating, that's kind of like punish, or it's like...
Oh yeah, that's going to come. But the last one, it was just like, this lady would always sit there.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know.
Hey,
it's just a spot.
Don't sit on the stove.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so the fiddler hid behind the chimney. The devils came and began to beat the rich peasant, saying all the time, "That's for you, rich man.
Hell yeah.
You hoarded a great deal of money, and you did not know how to hide it. You buried it in such a place that we have a hard time guarding it. There is a constant coming and going through the gate. The horses crush our heads with their hooves. And in the threshing barn, we are thrashed with flails. So there's demons guarding the money.
Why are they guarding?
They're guarding the money, and it's kind of, they don't like it because it's in really popular locations. If it was in a better location, these demons,
they're coming. The demons,
but also I feel like the demons would have complaints about wherever he hit them.
Sure,
I don't think the demons are going to give reasonable complaints.
Even the demons are getting mistreated as well,
right? But also they might be miscoloring the what was really happening. I don't know if that's.
You have to guard your fucking money.
Yeah. As soon as the devils left, the peasant said to the fiddler, "If you ever get out of here, tell my children to take the money. One pot is buried under the gate and the other in the threshing barn. But tell them to give it to the poor."
Hell no.
Again, a whole band of devils came rushing in and asked the rich peasant, "Why is there a Russian smell here?"
Okay.
The peasant said, "You have been to Russia and you have the Russian smell in your nostrils." "Impossible." They began to search, found the fiddler, and cried, "Ha ha ha, a fiddler is here." They dragged him down from the stove and forced him to play the fiddle.
Yeah.
He played there for 3 years, but it seemed to him like 3 days.
Oh. Kind of a long time.
He got tired and said, "How strange. Sometimes I played and tore all my strings, and in one evening. Sometimes I played and tore all my strings in one evening, and now I've played for 3 days, and not one string has broken. Blessed be the Lord."
Hold up.
He had no sooner said these words than all his strings snapped.
Yeah, you can't be saying that in hell.
"Well, brothers," he said, "you can see for yourselves my strings have broken. I have nothing to play on." "Just wait," said one devil. "I have 2 sets of strings, and I'll bring them to you."
Yeah.
He ran away and came back with some strings. The fiddler took them, tightened them, and again said, "Blessed be the Lord," when the 2 sets of strings snapped. "No, brothers," he said, "I cannot use your strings. I have some of my own at home. If you let me go, I'll bring them here." The devils refused to let him go. "You won't come back," they said. If you don't trust me, send one of your number to escort me." So the devils chose one of their company to go with the fiddler. He came to the village and heard a wedding being celebrated in the last house. "Let's go to that wedding." "Let's."
Yeah.
They went into the house.
For sure. No. Yeah. That part makes sense.
You're chilling with the little devil, and you're like, "What if we go in that? Should we go in the house?"
He's like watching you too to make sure you know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like pull fast one.
The
like,
devil.
well, we can at least go to the wedding.
I love parties. They went into the house. Everyone recognized the fiddler and asked him, "Where have you been for 3 years?" "I was in the other world."
Yeah.
They regaled themselves. Then the devil said to the fiddler, "We must go now." The fiddler said, "Wait a little while. Let me play my fiddle and amuse the young couple." They stayed there until the cocks began to crow. Then the devil vanished, and the fiddler said to the rich peasant's sons, "Your father orders you to take his money. One pot is buried under the gate, and another in the threshing barn, and he said that you should give it all to the poor." The sons dug up the 2 pots and began to distribute the money to the poor.
Okay.
But the more they gave, the more there was in the pots.
Ideal.
They put the pots on a crossroads. Whoever passed by took out as many coins as his hand could clutch, and still the money did not decrease. A petition was sent to the Tsar, saying that in a certain town there is a winding road about 50 versts long, and that a straight road would reduce this distance to about 5 versts. A tenth of the size. Sure. And the Tsar gave orders that a straight bridge be built. A bridge 5 versts long was erected. And this used up all the money contained in the 2 pots.
Okay.
At that time, a maiden gave birth to a son and abandoned him. The boy did not eat or drink for 3 years. And an angel of God always accompanied him. The boy came to the bridge and said, "Ah, what a wonderful bridge. May God give the kingdom of heaven to him whose money built it." The Lord heard the prayer and ordered his angels to release the rich peasant from the darkness of hell.
Alright, let him out.
Yeah,
They
the
built
little
the
kid
bridge.
liked the bridge, yeah. But it was God that gave him infinite money for a while. He had a little infinite money glitch.
And then
It wasn't just
built
his
a-
2 pots of money, actually. They were like magical pots that had thousands, if not millions, of coins in them.
But isn't that? But then we use it for public. But we already had. It seems. I guess it's better to have the bridge.
I don't know why. It seems like we should have just kept it at the crossroads.
So, but there
And
was
permanently.
enough. There was a limit to these.
Yeah, I guess at some point the king kind of got in the mix.
Yeah, and was able to I'll spend. Don't worry. Oh, you
I
can't
got it.
spend it all. Don't.
Yeah,
worry.
well, we'll get some lumber for a little.
Don't worry, buddy. We'll
bridge.
spend. We'll find a way to spend this coin.
All right, do you want to do the old woman?
Yeah.
Or any thoughts on the fiddler in hell?
Oh,
What did we learn? The fiddler, he can go to hell, but he can come back and he has a message.
yeah.
And that message...
The fiddler can traverse.
Fiddlers go to hell, and then they come back, and they are like, you should be nice to the poor.
You
And
gotta.
you're like, fuck.
Your dad has a lesson.
Right, exactly.
to
Well, your
teach
dad
you.
has all the money that he buried.
You gotta get your dad out of hell.
Part of
Hey,
it is your dad has to bury a treasure.
you gotta give
That's
me your
key,
money.
is your dad burying a treasure.
If your dad buries a treasure, there are demons guarding it, and those demons do get beat up every single day.
Especially if he didn't tell anybody where it was.
Yeah.
That's a cool, backstory for why is there a treasure that has all these demons around it.
I forgot.
Is a guy...
I think they have to.
A guy died, and in hell, they make all the demons guard it because no one...
Because
He didn't tell anybody where it was, so demons have to guard it.
because that means they have to guard it.
Because that's just what happens, man.
And that means, of course,
If
that
you tell
demons would
anybody
have to
where
guard
it is, then they can go get it easy.
Yeah, but if you don't,
But if you
then
just stumble upon it, there are demons
obviously
there to
the
keep you away from
demons-
it.
Oh, I see.
But you're like, dang, maybe I
keep them
should
in
fight
hell.
these demons. Just good, yeah. Good treasure backstory. Are you ready for the old woman
Yeah,
who
the
ran
old woman
away?
with the shoe.
She's gonna run away.
I should have. The old woman who ran away. An old man and his wife sat on the stove. Okay.
See, yeah, what is up with
Hold
sitting on the stove? I think it's just really cold.
What? Why?
I warned you.
Yeah, they're
I was like, dude,
they
they're
say that
always
like
talking
they're on
about-
the couch.
Yeah, I guess that is where you hang out. Yeah. If you're like old or sick, but if you're young, you
mean-
probably don't. Or it's probably like
Yeah.
watching TV. To them, this is like watching TV, I
you,
think.
maybe you can get it warm and then
It's just
you-
like the coolest thing that it's like, oh, I wish we had a stove
That we
growing
could
up
sit
for me to
on.
sit on, but we didn't. We didn't have that yet. You know?
That is tough.
Oh, you're just going to sit on the stove all day, aren't you? Yeah, I'm out there chopping wood.
The kids these
You're
days, they
sitting
just
on
want
the
to sit on the stove all day.
Yeah,
They
I think
don't
that's
wanna
part of
work.
it, right? It's
These
like you're
dang
lazy.
Kids. The woman who ran away. An old man and his wife sat on the stove. The old woman looked at the field through the window and said, "If we had a little son, Ivashuko, and a little daughter, Alina Shuko, our son would have plowed the field and sowed grain."
Alyanushka.
Alianushko. If we had our son and our daughter that we have given names to but don't exist,
No, they're always doing that. They're always like, I will have a son and name him Pasha.
And this is what he would have
And you're
been.
just like, and then they're like, fuck.
That never
Never
happened.
Never mind.
That never
A
happened.
dream deferred, yeah.
Okay, our daughter would have mowed it. Okay. I would have grown malt, brewed beer, and invited all my kin.
Wow.
Well, how about that?
The brewing beer.
But I would not have invited your kin. No, invite mine, but not yours, said the old man. No, I will invite my own folk, not yours. The old man jumped up and began to drag his... The old man jumped...
He's gonna be violent to the wife, probably.
Yeah, was like a fake story. Like, they were just like, oh, man, what if happened?
Yeah, exactly. That is how it be, though. Sometimes you're arguing and it's just, like, hypothetical.
They're like joking around.
Yeah, they love each other.
The reason I stopped...
You know they love each other.
The old man jumped up and began to drag his wife by her braid. He dragged and dragged her and finally pushed her off the stove. Okay, how big is this stove?
I don't understand the dimensions or implications of the stove.
They were like joking around. He's like, oh, I won't invite your family. She's like, oh, okay, well, I won't invite yours. He's like, what? And like
joking.
freaks out and
Yeah.
like beats her or like drags her by her hair.
But she wasn't joking.
She wasn't joking. And he did push her off the stove. Okay. The old man went to get wood, and the old woman made ready to run away. There you go. I mean, that's
There you go, yeah.
good decision. She baked bread and pies. She put them in a big bag. She went to say farewell to a neighbor. Somehow the old man got wind of it.
Yeah, you were there.
I mean, you were talking all over town.
You cooked 7 pies.
You cooked 7 pies. You told everyone in town. Took 12 hours. The old woman came... Somehow the old man got wind of it, returned home, took out of the bag everything his wife had prepared for her trip, put the bread and the pies in the larder, and himself sat in the bag.
He's in the bag?
He emptied the bag, he got in the bag.
That's sick.
For sure.
Yeah, my wife, she's packed a suitcase. I unpack the suitcase. I get inside the suitcase.
Yeah. I'm about as heavy as about 6 pies.
He's a skinny man.
The old woman came home, placed the bag on her shoulders, and set out on her journey.
This is like Escape, the Pina Colada song, where they like break up, but then like she's gonna be like, I miss him.
Come back.
Or something, and then he's gonna be in the bag.
Luckily. After walking...
Maybe she's gonna be bad for him.
Talk about verts. After walking for 5 or 6 verts, she stopped and said, it would be nice to sit on a tree stump now and eat a cake. The old man cried from the bag, I can see everything. I can hear everything. Ah, the accursed devil. He might catch me, thought the woman, and went on.
So she's like, he's acting like her like conscience.
Yes.
She thinks it's in her head.
Yeah, she does. She couldn't understand that
that the bag is moving.
That the reason
and
the bag
there is a whole man in the bag.
Now, the reason the bag now weighs 215 pounds and is moving around and talking is because there's a man in the
vodka.
bag.
Yeah,
it smells and sounds like her husband.
But she's like, everything reminds me of him. Everything I do reminds me of him. I look in the bag, I don't even see the pies, I just see him.
For some reason. Yeah, I just see
That's
him.
what it's like.
He might catch me, thought the woman, and went on. Again, she walked about 6 verts and said, it would be nice to sit on a tree stump now and eat a cake. I can see everything, I can hear everything, cried the old man. Again, she hurried on. She walked many verts, not having eaten or drunk anything. She got so tired that her strength failed her. Come what may, I will stop here, thought the old woman. I will have a little rest and a bite. Then she discovered that her husband was in the bag. Okay. She begged him, little father, forgive me. I will never try to run away again. The old man forgave her, and they went home together. Be it.
Well, I'm glad he forgave her.
That was... The old man forgave her. They went home together. Okay.
But what they made up?
I mean, recap. They were trying... Okay,
he was really mean to her. She ran away.
Yeah. They were
but then he made her feel guilty.
Yeah, he like he pulled out her hair for making a joke, and then she ran away, and then he hid in the bag.
Gaslighted her as her subconscious.
Little father, forgive me. Maybe he was small.
No, they call everybody Little Father.
Little Father.
That's like sitting on the stove, yeah.
What a good story.
Yeah, the woman ran away. Oh, yeah, do you want to hit the anecdotes? Or?
Sure, we can do anecdotes.
This is what section is just called anecdotes, and there's just 2. It's like, how is that a section?
Yeah, they're each just like a sentence.
How is that a section?
A woman came to an inn and asked about her husband. Was not my drunkard here? He was. Ah, the scoundrel, the knave. How much did he drink? 5 kopecks worth. Well, give me 10 kopecks worth. That's it. That's all that is.
Wow.
Okay, next one.
He's feeling single, I'm drinking double.
Yup.
She's acting single, I'm drinking double. That's the song.
Once a turnip said, I taste very good with honey.
Okay,
Go
turnip.
along, you boaster, replied the honey. I taste good without you. Yup.
Bitch.
I don't know why the honey. Also,
That's what it's like, though.
Honey's just being a hater.
That's what a lot of the
turnip
relationships
is
are like.
just being nice.
Yeah, the turnip's nutritious.
Like, oh, it'd be fun if the honey was here too. And the
Right.
honey's like, fuck you, I don't need you.
Yeah, the honey's like, I don't even think about you.
I would never
I don't
need
even
you
care
in my
about
life.
you. Yeah,
Turnip with honey. I'm honey.
I'm honey. Dude.
I mean, that is a turnip. It's not even a top,
Right, but we all know the importance of turnips.
Damn.
Yeah, I can hit the next long one. Are you gonna do it? You got it, or you have to go in order. You have to
you have to do an order. Okay.
Because also, it's like you look at it and you're like, I
can
don't think
do
this
it.
will be good, but it's always like, what?
We'll see what it is. The singing tree and the talking bird.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah, there could be a lot could happen. Once there was a very curious king.
I like when they're like, and then 7 years passed, and you're like, what?
And then the rest of my life unfolded. Once there was a very curious king who eavesdropped on the windows of his subjects. Okay.
Great.
Cool. I'm getting the really cool stories. He's just so curious. He's so curious king.
He has a little hole. He looks in my
curious.
room
He always
while I have sex.
Oh, you
He looks
curious,
in the
you
room.
curious king of you. Curious king who eavesdropped on the windows of his subjects.
He doesn't have any real friends, though. So.
A certain merchant had 3 daughters, and one day the king heard these maidens conversing with their father. One said, I wish I were married to the king's caterer. The second daughter said, if only the king's body servant would take me for his wife. And the third daughter said, I would like to be married to the king himself. I would bear him 2 sons and 1 daughter. Sometime later the king fulfilled their wishes. He married the eldest daughter to his caterer, the second daughter to the body servant, and the youngest he took for himself. He took the youngest.
No word on their ages, but
Yeah,
just
just
their birth order.
Just that it
Just
was
the
the
birth
youngest
order,
possible one.
Yeah.
He lives happily with his wife.
But I think you have to get those married first if it's
It's
like
not good.
Pride and
It's like,
Prejudice
yeah.
rules or whatever. You know?
I'm always old. I'm always give me the
You gotta
oldest,
go
oldest one you got.
first,
It's the
then-
oldest girl you got. And the youngest he took to wife himself. He lived happily with his wife, and she became pregnant. When her time came, she began to have labor pains. The king wanted to send for the midwife of the city. But the king's sister-in-law said, why send for a midwife? We ourselves can do what is necessary. When the queen gave birth to a son, these midwives told the king that his wife had given birth to a puppy. Put the newborn boy in a box and dropped it in the pound in the king's garden.
So he did a swap with a puppy?
Okay, so they told the king that, and then the king, now it's the king's move. The king became enraged at his wife and wanted to have her shot. She gave birth to a puppy? Well, then I'm going to kill her. That must be true,
Yeah.
and I will now...
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, it sounds like she's a demon or something.
Luckily,
she
though...
gave birth to a dog.
But luckily we had some other... but visiting kings dissuaded him from this, arguing that a first offense should be forgiven. Look, you can let your wife... You have to let her give birth to 1 puppy.
Right. But what about the second birth?
puppy?
We got a
You
second
shoot
birth
her.
coming up. I'm seeing a
Let me
second
see.
birth approaching, if I'm
Let me
being
see.
honest.
The king forgave her, postponing punishment against a second time. Okay, so like if it happened again. A year later, the queen again became pregnant and bore a son.
Okay.
This time, her sisters told the king that she had given birth to a kitten.
So how does the king react to that?
Seems
is he more of a cat guy?
negative.
Is he more of a cat guy, maybe?
Like, I just wanted like a person.
Oh, it was it was...
Fuck.
It doesn't look like your friend. It actually was a dog.
It was
actually a dog. It didn't look like your friend at all that's rich.
The king became even more enraged and wanted to put his wife to death, but he was again dissuaded after many entreaties, and postponed punishment against the third time. The sisters put the second baby likewise into a box and dropped it into the pond. Okay. Then the queen became pregnant for the third time.
So yeah, I guess those other ones, I thought they might live.
Nah, these are...
I thought the one they put in the pound might, like... I thought he might come back as a dog, I think a dog guy.
Earlier, it was.
But I guess he just died.
It was earlier. It was in the pond. I didn't mean to say pound.
Oh,
so they're both in pond. Yeah,
he was in the dog pound.
I did too until just now.
Oh, they're just drowning the little.
They're just drowning the babies.
Okay, cool.
They put the second baby in the pond. The queen became pregnant for the third time, bore a beautiful daughter, and the sisters reported to the king that his wife had given birth to God knows what. The king became even more enraged than before, had gallows erected, and wants to hang his wife. But some kings who had come from other countries wanted to visit him and said, these kings are always over. Whoa, hey, bro, don't kill your wife, man. Hey, well, I'm here, like, we just hang out. She gave birth to God knows what. Bro could not be bothered to go check himself.
Can't watch. He will not.
I would much rather have a kitten than a puppy, but
yeah,
God knows what I'd want least of all.
But
because who knows what that is. The other king said, rather than kill her, build a chapel next to the church. Put your wife in it. Whoever goes to mass is to spit in her face. The king followed this advice, and people not only spat in the queen's face, but hurled at her whatever they had in their hands.
What?
Loaves of bread or cakes.
The queen? I guess she's not the queen anymore.
We hate the queen. She eats fucking animals.
This church sounds cool.
It's a cool church, though, yeah.
There's a church where you can go spit and throw anything that you have at the queen.
Yeah, we do alt-rock Christian music, and you can spit and throw stuff at the queen. Whatever they have in their hands, loaves of cakes. After babies brought into the world by the queen. Wait.
Ashen baby.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Here we go. As for the babies brought into the world by the queen and dropped by their midwives into the pond.
Are they like merman now?
The king's gardener took them into his house and brought them up. Yo.
Yes!
I mean, this guy could have said something at some point, but,
All three of them are there.
Yeah, these are my
They're all these, like, cool buff gardeners.
Yeah.
What's up with these gardeners, man? They're really cool. They're a great vibe.
Yeah, they're like the best at all of the things that the kings should be. Yeah. These children of the king grew up not by the year, but by the month. Not by the day, but by the hour. Not sure what that means. The princes became handsome youths. So
exactly, they're just buff guys now, even though they're like 2 years old.
They just get,
they're buff guys now.
Gotcha, that's
if
fair.
You're wondering why they're going to be around and just regular guys and not little kids,
this
is why.
They just really quickly became full-grown guys.
Magic happens,
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
The princes became handsome youths, such as no mind can imagine. Okay. Nor been described.
I knew they were going to be hot buff guys. I said that. I was like, they're going to be hot buff guys.
The princess was such a beauty that she took one breath away.
Dude, I hope they don't kiss her.
And they came of age and asked the gardener to allow them to build a house outside of the town. The gardener gave them his permission. They built a fine big house and began to live happily. The brothers loved to catch hares. One day they went hunting. The sister remained at home alone. A little old woman came to the house and said to the maiden, Your house is comfortable and beautiful, but you lack 3 things. The princess asked her, What do we lack? It seems to me we have everything. The aged woman said, This is what you lack. The talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life.
Oh, that's the name of the story.
We know the name of the story.
But isn't she lacking her three sons or whatever that died that she thinks are dead?
The brothers returned from the hunt, and the sister went out to meet them and said,
"Wait, who's the sister?"
No, the sister is one of the kids. There's 2 brothers, one son, one girl.
Oh, there's a hot lady.
So all 3 of them. So she's the one that got told that just now by the old woman.
That she's
what she needs.
3 things, yeah.
She went out to her brothers and said, "My brothers, we have everything except 3 things." The brothers asked her, What do we not have, little sister?" She said, "We do not have the talking bird, the singing tree, nor the water of life."
Well, the water of life's good. That's been in some other ones. It's really OP.
The elder brother began to beg her, "Little sister, give me your blessing. I will go forth to get these marvels. And if I die or am killed, this is how you will know it.
How?
I will thrust this penknife into the wall. When blood begins to drip from the knife, it will be a sign that I am dead." He left.
I set that up at my house, too.
Yeah, I have
Whenever
that.
I leave somewhere, I go, okay, I'm going to put a penknife in the wall, and if it drips blood, you'll know I'm dead.
That's all my emergency contacts have a penknife.
They have a penknife stuck in the wall, and if it starts to leak blood, I put a pocket knife in the wall.
My bank has one in case they can close my cards. He left, and having walked for a long time, he came to a wood. A little old man sat on a tree.
I love a wood.
And the prince asked him, "How can I get to the talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life?" The man gave him a little spool and said, "Follow the spool wherever it rolls." The spool began to roll. It rolled up to a high mountain and vanished from sight. The prince started to climb up the mountain.
How does he track it?
Reached a point halfway to the top and suddenly vanished too.
Oh.
At his house, blood once dripped from his penknife, and the sister said to the younger brother that their elder brother had surely died.
But he didn't.
The younger brother said to her, "Now I will go, little sister, to get the talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life." She gave him her blessing. He left. After having walked for a long time,
he didn't even set up a penknife situation. But I guess she won't come because she's a girl.
A little old man sat on a tree, and the prince asked him, "Little grandfather, how can I get the talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life?" The little old man said, "Here is a spool for you to follow. Follow it wherever it rolls." The old man threw the spool. It began to roll, and the prince followed it. It rolled up to a high mountain and vanished from sight. The prince started climbing the mountain, reached the halfway point, and suddenly vanished too. The sister waited for him many, many years, and still he did not come back.
Yeah, halfway up the mountain is a good vanishing point.
Then she said, "My brother too must have died." And she went herself to the top.
Whoa!
To get the talking bird,
Wow!
the singing tree, and the water of life. She walked for some time, a short time, or a long time.
Yeah.
And came
I
to
like
a
when they
wood.
say a short time or a long time.
On the tree, there sat a little old man, and she asked him, "Little grandfather, how can I get the talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life?" The little old man said,
Practice.
"You cannot get them. Cleverer persons than you have tried, but they all perished."
No, those are my brothers.
The maiden still
they were
begged
dumb
him,
as shit.
"Please tell me." The little man said to her, "Here is a spool. Follow it." After some time, a short time or a long time, this spool rolled up to a high mountain.
Right.
The maiden began to climb it.
Okay.
And she heard voices shouting at her, "Whither are you going? We shall kill you. We shall devour you."
Whoa.
But she kept on climbing and climbing, and she climbed to the top of the mountain, and there sat the talking bird. The maiden took the bird and asked it, tell me, where can I get the singing tree and the water of life?" The bird said, "Go over there." She came to the singing tree, and in this tree all kinds of birds were singing. She broke a branch off, and it went on farther. She came to the water of life, drew a little pitcher of it to take it home. She began to climb down the mountain and sprinkled it with the water of life. Suddenly her brothers jumped up and said, "Oh, little sister, we have been asleep a long time."
Nice. Yeah,
Yes,
the
brothers.
water of life brings people back to life.
"Yes, it was Not for me, you would have slept here forever. And then she added, I will have got the talking bird, the singing tree, and the water of life. The brothers were overjoyed. They went home and planted the singing tree in their garden.
Yeah,
it spread out over the whole garden, and birds sang on it various voices. One day the brothers went hunting and happened to meet the king.
Oh, right.
Okay, yeah. The first thing is very, just a different. I mean, maybe it'll be relevant than all this other stuff we did.
I think it's all gonna come
now.
back.
We're really about what seems to be important. One day the brothers went hunting and happened to meet the king. He liked these hunters and asked them to come see him. They said, "We shall ask our sister's permission. If she grants it, we shall certainly come."
Yeah, you should say that.
They returned.
Let me ask my sister. Yeah. I gotta ask my sister first.
I would surely come if my sister says yes. The sister met them, and they returned from this hunt. The sister met them and attended them joyfully. Her brother said to her, "Give us permission, little sister, to visit the king. He graciously asked us to come." The princess gave them permission, and they went to visit the king. The king received them cordially and invited them to feast with him.
Nice.
They spoke to the king and asked him to visit them in turn. After some time, the king came to them and received...
Please visit me in turn.
And they received him most hospitably. 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 And showed him the singing tree, the talking bird. The king was amazed and said, "I'm a king, and yet I do not have these things."
Yeah, you loser.
Then
you don't even have AirPods? Wait, you don't even have AirPods, bro?
And the brother said to him, "But we are your children." How did they know that? The king learned the whole truth, was overjoyed, and stayed with them forever.
The gardener knew, I guess, from the beginning and
fair.
told them when they grew up.
The king stayed with them forever. He freed the queen from the chapel, and they lived for many years in great happiness. My bad, I guess.
I'm glad the king. I'm glad she forgave him. Yeah.
She's been getting spit on for 25 years.
Yeah, they're full adults.
Also, that just like.
But I mean, I bet the one of the birds or the tree or the water helped her out to get over it. That's what's great about those. They help.
Yeah, the other stuff, it's like a story that if you were given it in like a class, like edit, there were like so many lines you would just cross out. They're just like, yeah, you don't need to say that.
That's for rhythm.
You don't need to leave, you could leave out the part where they ask the sister's permission. It just immediately says yes, and there's like no point to it at all.
That's the best part.
Again, that's not. I
gotta ask my sister first. Well, that had to get her there. That's what got her there.
Maybe, yeah.
Otherwise, they would have just gone without her.
Sure. Yeah, no, you're right. It's a good story.
Yeah. This is the ram who lost half his skin.
Okay. The ram who lost half his...
He lost half his skin. A certain nobleman had many head of cattle. One day, he killed and skinned 5 sheep, because he wanted to have a coat made of the skins. Fair. He sent for a tailor and said to him, "Now sew up a sheepskin for me." The tailor measured him and found that he needed half a skin more.
Sorry.
"You don't have enough skins," he said. I need some more for the lapels." "That's easy," answered the nobleman, and ordered his lackey to remove half the skin of 1 ram. The lackey carried out the order. The ram became angry at the nobleman, called the goat, and said to him, "Let's run away from this wicked man. We can live in the woods, eat grass, drink water, and be happy." And so they did. They went to the forest, built a cabin for the nights, and lived happily eating grass. Many other beasts also disliked living with the nobleman. And a cow, a pig, a cock, and a gander also left his farm. While it was warm, these creatures lived in the open. But when icy winter came, they sought refuge from the cold. They walked and walked through the woods, found the ram's cabin, and begged him to let them in. "Please give us shelter," they said. "We are very cold." But the ram and the goat refused. Then the cow came up to the door and said, "Let us in, else I will knock your cabin down." The ram saw that he had no choice and admitted the cow. The pig came up. "Let me in," he said, "else I will dig up all the ground around your house and make a tunnel to the door and freeze you out." There was nothing they could do, so they admitted the pig. A moment later, the gander said, "Let me in, or else I'll peck a hole in the wall and the cold wind will come in." And the cock said, "Let me in, or I'll befoul your whole roof." What could they do? They admitted the birds, too, and all of them began to live together. So they all live in a cute cabin.
Everyone's hanging out now, yeah.
There's a little friction initially.
We're in the co-op.
Yeah.
I did threaten to blow up the co-op if you didn't let me in.
Yeah.
But now that you let me in.
No, it's chill. It's chill in the commune. After some time, a long time or a short time, robbers passed by the cabin, heard cries and noises coming from inside. They came close, listened, could not guess who was there, and sent one of their companions to find out. "Go in," they said, "else we shall put a rope around your neck and throw you into the water." There was nothing the fellow could do, so he opened the door. The moment he set foot in the cabin, he was attacked from all sides and was forced to turn back. "Well, brothers," he said, "do what you will, but I won't go back in there for anything in the world. In all my life, I have never been so frightened. The moment I stepped in, a woman began to thrash me with an oven fork. Her daughter fell upon me in her turn. Then a cobbler thrust an awl into my back. Then a tailor cut me with his scissors. Then a soldier armed with spurs jumped at me in such fury that his hair stood on end. He shouted in a terrible voice. And the biggest of them all began to mutter threateningly. I was scared out of my wits." "Not so good," said the robbers. "Let's move out of this. They might come after us." And they left. And so the beasts went on living together. One day wolves came to their cabin, and by the smell knew who was there. They said to one of their band, "Go in, be the first of us." He had no sooner opened the door than all the beasts in the cabin began to thrash him, and he barely escaped with his life. The wolves did not know what to do. A hedgehog was with them, and he said, "Just wait. Let me try. I think I can do better." For he knew that the ram had lost one side of his skin. So he waddled in and pricked the ram. The ram gave a tremendous jump over all his companions and ran away. All of them followed him and took to their heels. Then the wolves moved into the cabin and stayed there.
The end.
That's the end, yeah.
That's cool.
That was the ram who lost half his skin. I know
The stories aren't really...
A lot happens.
Not really good.
They just say it again, though. But they mention the thing again from the beginning. It's a callback, so it's a great story.
Yeah. It's very
The hedgehog
like,
came.
creative writing exercise for like middle school students.
They love it. The fox is a midwife. The fox, the hare, and the cock.
Nice.
How are we doing? We do two more. They're pretty short. Oh, we got Baba Yaga too. Cool. Dang. Baba Yaga's classic. Yeah, I'll do the fox's midwife, and then you do the two with the Baba Yaga.
Cool.
Okay. A wolf and a fox lived together in true friendship. Mm. They had a little keg of honey. The fox liked sweets. She lay with her crony the wolf in their little house and stealthily rapped the floor with her tail. "Friend Fox," said the wolf, "there's a knocking at the door." "Ah, it's someone coming to ask me to help deliver a child," murmured the fox. "Well, go then," said the wolf. The fox went out of the house straight to the honey keg, licked her fill of it, and returned. "What has God given?" asked the wolf.
That's not what they said it was.
"A first child," said the fox. So yeah, I think they're just both liars. And so but I think
this is a good story.
Two liars are sharing something, and they're both lying to each other about
having a job.
Yes.
Another time, the fox again lay quietly wrapping her tail. "Friend, I hear a knocking," said the wolf. "It's probably someone who needs a midwife." "Well, go then." The fox again went to the honey keg and licked her fill of it.
Who's knocking?
It's just her with her tail. She's making the knocking noise so she can go. So she can go lick the honey. I think the wolf might be onto it soon, though.
I mean, it should be pretty clear.
Once she goes and looks at the honey keg, the fox again went to the honey keg and licked her fill of it, so that only a little remained at the bottom. "What has God given?" asked the wolf. "A second child." Then the fox cheated the wolf still a third time and finished all of the honey.
It's not sustainable.
"What has God given?" asked the wolf. "A last child." After some time, a long time or a short time, the fox pretended to be ill and asked her friend, the wolf, to bring her some honey. He went to the keg and found that not even a drop was left. "Friend, friend," cried the wolf, "the honey is all eaten up." "What do you mean?" asked the wolf angrily. "Who could have eaten it up except you?" The wolf swore that it was not he. "Very well then," said the fox. "Let us lie in the sun. Whoever sweats out the honey is the culprit." They lay down in the sun. The fox did not sleep, but the gray wolf snored with his whole snout. After a while, the fox got hold of some honey and quickly smeared the wolf with it.
That's not a good plan.
"Friend, friend," she said, nudging the wolf. "What's this? Who has eaten the honey?" The wolf had no choice but to admit his guilt.
But
"There's a tail for you, and a crock of butter for me."
that's it?
That's the last line is, "There's a tail for you, and a crock of butter for me." There's a tail for you.
There's a tail for you, and a crack of butter for me.
And a crock of butter for me.
That's the narrator?
Yeah. Sometimes the
Cutting back
narrator
to me.
goes, and I was there. and I drank a beer so big that it's got my mustache. It's like he talks about this mustache.
Yeah, I was there and I sipped my
drank a
beer quietly and
Yeah.
the foam on my mustache, thinking about the story I told. Yeah.
Dang. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Spoiler, it ends with that's a tail for you and a crock of butter.
No way.
I looked at it, yes.
That's
I looked
crazy.
at it.
This one right here?
Yeah.
No.
The fox and the...
It's a similar motif, I think.
The fox.
Fox, the hare, and the cock. Once upon a time there lived a fox and a hare. The fox had a hunt of... Oh, hold up. We're going to restart this. Once upon a time there lived a fox and a hare. The fox had a hut made of ice, and the hare had a hut made of lime tree bark. That would be... I'd rather be in the second hut.
I bet the third house is going to be the best.
The radiant spring came, and the fox's hunt melted, while the hare stood as before. The fox asked the hare to let her in to warm herself.
Yeah, fox is tricky though.
And then drove him out. The hare walked along the road weeping and met some dogs. Bow wow, bow wow. Why are you weeping, little hare? Bow wow, why are you leaping, little hare? The hare said,
Bow wow, bow wow.
Leave me alone, dogs. How can I help weeping? I had a hut made of lime tree bark, and the fox had a hut made of ice. She begged me to let her into my hut and then drove me out.
Yeah, a lot of this is like animals asking to come in your house.
You cannot
and then they like
say
take your house.
Yes. You have to say no.
Yeah. Unless you have a true friendship.
Don't.
Like the wolf and the fox.
Unless you can really trust, yeah. A good friendship like the wolf and the fox. Yeah,
They said they had a true
a
friendship.
true friendship
They
where
had a true friendship.
you've broken your friend's mind so much that they're
Yeah.
like, I must have eaten
We're
the honey,
best friends.
even though I have no memory of it,
Right.
because I'm covered in honey.
Well, the
and
wolf
I
didn't want to make waves.
I
The
trust
wolf was,
you. I
the
trust
wolf
you
was being
so
chill.
much. You would never lie to
The
me.
wolf wasn't being confrontational. The wolf saw the writing on the wall.
The wolf let their
The
mind
wolf
be
saw the
wolf.
writing on the wall, okay?
That's crazy.
The wolf is just nice.
Yeah, the wolf is being abused.
The wolf is just being chill about it. They have a
I
true
don't
friendship.
think that's true.
They have a true friendship.
Don't weep here, said the dogs. We shall drive her out. No, you won't. Yes, we shall. They came to the hut and barked.
Who are they? Oh, they're dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, they'll probably hate that. The fox.
Bow wow, bow wow, bow wow. Go away, fox. But the fox replied from the stove. As I jump out, as I leap, only tufts will fly her all around.
What?
She's gonna fuck up all these dogs.
Oh, shit.
As I jump out, as I leap, only tufts will fly all around.
Oh, right, the tufts of hair.
The dogs took fright and ran away.
What?
Again, the hare walked down the road weeping.
High charisma.
He met a
fox.
bear. Why are you weeping, hare? And the hare said, Leave me alone, bear. How can I help weeping? I had a hut made of lime bark, and the fox had a hut made of ice.
Bro, stop
She
whining, start
begged
grinding.
me to let her into the hut, and
grinding.
it drove me out.
Stop, dude, move on. Just make a new... Oh, is there not enough lime bark
Love telling
around?
this story, bro. Telling the story to anyone that will listen.
Bro, I had this sig lime bark hut.
Don't weep, hare. I'll drive her out. No, you won't. The dogs tried it, and they couldn't not. You will not do better.
The bears
I
will just
shall.
break the house.
So they both went to drive out the fox. Go away, fox, growled the bear. The fox replied from the stove, As I jump out, as I leap out, only tufts will fly all around.
So as part of it is he's talking through the stove. She's talking
From the stove, yeah. Like
She's
probably
like going like
from the pipe.
and
Maybe
the
it goes
pipe's talking. Is
Yeah.
that part of it? Because they mentioned it both times. So. That
So,
she's
so like maybe there's like
she's
an
from
echo
the
that's making it
stove.
sound scarier.
From the stove. We all know that.
The bear took fright and ran away. Again, the hare walked down the road weeping and met a bull.
Okay. Notably
Why
cool.
are
Notably
you
cool.
weeping, hare? Leave me alone, bull. How can I help weeping? I had a hut made of lime bark and a fox had a hut made of ice, and she begged me to let me into her hut and drove me out.
Oh.
Let us go there. I will drive her out.
That's what everybody
No,
says.
bull, you won't. The dogs tried it and couldn't. The bear tried it and couldn't. You will not do better. I shall. They went to the hut. Go away, fox, roared the bull. But the fox replied from the stove, As I jump out, as I leap out, only tufts will fly all around. The bull took fright and ran away.
You gotta find someone that doesn't have hair.
Again, the hare.
You gotta find someone that doesn't have hair.
I
'cause
just
then
caught
the
that,
tufts.
yeah.
All this stuff about the tufts.
Again, oh, here we go, though. Again, the hare walked down the road weeping
Turtle.
and met a cock carrying a sickle.
Okay.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
That's a cool character.
Why are you weeping,
I'm
hare?
a cock who has a sickle.
He met a chicken with a large claymore-style sword.
He came upon a frog with a
Full-
mace.
In full chain metal.
He had a spear. There was a bug there. He had a
Wizard.
spear.
Sort of a wizard. Lizard. The hare walked down the road weeping and met a cock carrying a sickle. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Why are you weeping, hare? Leave me alone, cock. How can I help weeping? The hut, the lime bark, and the fox had the ice hut. And she wanted to come in, and I said yes, and she drove me out.
Bro, get over it.
Bro, you have to get over the shit.
You need to like
We gotta
find
move
food,
on, dude.
make a new hut.
Stop talking to. You do not know.
Other predators.
Everyone's like, oh, that's probably the first. I'm probably the first person to try to talk to you about this. No, dude.
That is what's weird about listening to people's problems.
Yeah, they're
It's like,
always
you're like,
talking about
dude,
it.
you've talked to so many people
Yeah.
about this, and you will not listen to
If
them.
a stranger like at the bar is telling you something,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're like,
that's all you talk about.
This is all you've said all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us go there, and I will drive her out. No, you won't. The dog tried it and couldn't. The bear tried it and couldn't. The bull tried it and couldn't. You will not do better.
He has a sickle, though.
Yes, I shall.
He's got a sickle.
They came to the hut. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Crowed the cock. I have a sickle on my shoulders. I'm going to cut the fox to pieces. Get out, fox.
Sir, I have a sickle on my shoulder.
I'm going to kill you.
Sir, I don't know if you can see me right now, but I have a sickle on my shoulder.
The fox heard the cock, took fright, and said, I am getting dressed.
Don't let
Officer, 1 minute.
Don't let them.
The cock called again, Cock-a-doodle-doo. I have a sickle on my shoulders. I am going to cut the fox to pieces. Get out, fox. The fox
Dude.
says, I'm putting on my fur. The cock shrilled for the third time. Cock-a-doodle-doo. I have a sickle on my shoulders. I'm going to cut the fox to pieces. Get out,
Get
fox.
out, fox.
The fox ran out. The cock cut her with his sickle.
Nice.
And began to live with the hare and to prosper.
Cute. Cute.
Not this next one. There's a tale for you. And a crock of butter for me.
Yes. That's so sick. They're like, okay, then this guy shows up. One of the animals,
Has a sword.
one of the animals has like a really cool sword.
I'm going to kill you with my sword.
He has a scimitar.
Just like, there's stories that a child would write, because it's just like, there's no... I was
why they're
like,
so
oh,
good.
is it because, we were like, is it because the animals have fur and the last animal won't have fur? No, the last animal
Well,
is
she
just
didn't
gonna
have fur. She had
sure,
feathers.
I guess, but
And they couldn't be ruffled.
they couldn't be ruffled, that's true.
But yeah.
Also had a weapon.
Yeah, I'm glad the hare found it.
I don't know, the hare didn't deserve it.
Alright, I'm gonna close on Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Because I remember this. We read Baba Yaga in 6th grade.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I know.
I don't remember. She's just a witch, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if I've read about it, but I've heard of her.
She's got some horror movies, maybe. A certain peasant and his wife had a daughter. The wife died. The husband married another woman and had a daughter with her also. His wife conceived a dislike for her stepdaughter, and the orphan had a hard time. Well, the stepdaughter's the orphan, I guess. Our peasant thought and finally took his daughter to the woods.
Of course.
As he drove in the woods, he beheld a little hut standing on chicken legs. The peasant said, little hut, stand with your back to the woods and your front to me."
Okay.
The hut turned around.
Yeah.
The peasant entered it and found Baba Yaga. Her head was in front. Her right leg was in one corner, and her left leg in the other corner.
Oh.
So she is the house, I guess.
She's all separated, or
yeah,
she
she's
is
also-
the house.
yeah, I don't know.
Like we said, she is the house, yeah.
I'm not sure. It could go either way. I smell a Russian smell,
Yeah,
said Yaga.
yeah. Hate that.
The peasant bowed to her and said, Baba Yaga, the bony-legged one. I have brought you my daughter to be your servant.
Facts.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Oh, Baba Yaga, the bony-legged one.
Bony-legged one. Ooh.
Watch out, ladies. She's the bony-legged one.
Here's my
I have
daughter.
brought you my daughter. Yeah. Very well, very well. Serve me, serve me. There was just one very well, but there was two serve me. Said Yaga to the girl, I will reward you for it. The father said farewell and returned home. Baba Yaga gave the girl a basket full of yarn to spin. Told her to make a fire in the stove and to prepare everything for dinner. Then she went out. The girl busied herself at the stove and wept bitterly. The mice ran out and said to her, Maiden, maiden, why are you weeping? Give us some gruel. We shall return your kindness. She gave them some gruel. And now, they said, stretch one thread on each spindle. Baba Yaga came back. Well, she said, have you prepared everything? The girl had everything ready. And now wash me in the bath, said her mistress. She praised the maiden and gave her several beautiful dresses. Again, Yaga went out, having set even more difficult tasks for her servant. Again, the girl wept. The mice ran out. Lovely maiden, they said, why are you weeping? Give us some gruel, we shall return your kindness. She gave them gruel. And again they told her what to do and how. Baba Yaga, upon her return, again praised the maiden and gave her even more beautiful dresses. Huge W. Continue, W after W.
High risk, high reward situation.
Just keep getting beautiful dresses. And it's like, you know that your stepmom wasn't going to give you beautiful dresses. She hated you, and your dad hated you.
I'm a made man.
Yeah, pretty much. One day, the stepmother sent her husband to see whether his daughter was still alive.
For sure.
The peasant drove into the woods. When he came to the house on chicken legs, he saw that his daughter had become very prosperous. Yaga was not at home, so he took the maiden with him. As they approached their village, the peasants' dogs began to bark. Bow! Wow, wow! A young lady is coming. A young lady is coming. The stepmother ran out and struck the dog with a rolling pin. You're lying, she said. You should bark, bones are rattling in the basket. But the dog kept barking the same thing as before, which was, bow, wow, wow, a young lady is coming, a young lady is coming. But the dogs kept barking, the same thing as before. The peasant and his daughter arrived. The stepmother began to press her husband to take her daughter to Baba Yaga. He took her. Oh, so she's swapping out the old daughter. Because they had another daughter.
Yeah.
Not the orphan.
Tag out.
They're like, we're going to get the other one in. Baba Yaga set a task for her and went out. The girl was beside herself with spite and wept. The mice ran out. Maiden, maiden, why are you weeping? But she did not even let them speak. She struck them with a rolling pin and scolded them roundly and did not do her work. Yaga came back and became angry. Another time, the same thing happened. Then Yaga broke her into pieces and put her bones in a basket.
Yep.
Now the stepmother sent her husband for his daughter. The father went and brought back only her bones. As he approached his village, his dog barked on the porch. Bow! Wow, wow! Bones are rattling in the basket. The stepmother came, running out with a rolling pin. You're lying, she said. You should bark. A young lady is coming. The husband arrived, and then the wife moaned and groaned. There's a tale for you. And a crock of butter for me.
Because I was like, why at the very end, there's not an animal in the whole story. Well, I guess there's some mice, but like they're not really. In the very end, something shows up.
There's a tail for you.
And a crock of butter for me.
But it's tail, Tale.
Yeah, but I think...
I don't know. It's in Russian, so... There's a tail for you.
Crock of butter for me. That was cool. Yeah, those stories are fucking are.
You never know what's coming.
Unhinged.
You don't know.
It's wild reading that.
They're like,
There's
10 years passed.
And then 5 years passed.
She received 6 beautiful dresses.
Then she tagged that with her sister.
Then they were like, "Oh, it's really cool there. Okay, well then our other daughter's gonna go."
Yeah,
But she gotta feed the mice.
Yeah, I mean that's like I mean
mice
honestly,
were crucial.
I don't know if the
like in
sisters-
Cinderella, that's kind of like Cinderella, right?
I do think that if the sisters got to talk, that she should have told her, but that's just bad spirit. Yeah, it shows bad character to not do it.
They didn't really interact. Yeah, yeah, she's bad. You have to like. It's all about. There's like always like a little guy testing you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like give an ant a crumb, then
That is
he
how
will
I
like
got to the
give
world.
you he will lead you to like a pot of gold
Mm-hmm.
or something. Like he'll give you different treats and boons.
I think that's fair. I try to like not. Yeah, I let the ant beds.
Being nice is
in my
its
house
own
kind of
reward.
just-
Yeah,
I let them be, because I don't know what could come from that.
yeah. Well, I mean, you're being hospitable, so I'm sure you'll be.
Like I don't
someone
know. I
will
don't
be
want to cut
hospitable
myself
to you
off
in return.
to
Their
all
love,
the things that could come
Yeah.
from.
your mutual love relationship.
In some ways, they're kind of smarter than us. These little ants.
Yeah, they know how to do all the tasks that Baba Yaga
mhm.
assigns us. I like that it's like Baba Yaga's like, okay, do all this stuff. I'm leaving.
Yeah, Baba Yaga is not.
And then she's like doing fake errons or whatever, like whatever Baba Yaga's doing. on
Baba
her
Yaga's like
runs.
running a fake small business. She has to go out. It doesn't make any money. But she's just like constantly busy.
She's like, I gotta go to HEB and then Hobby Lobby,
Yeah.
and then
we're out of the.
I gotta go buy glitter at Hobby Lobby for 3 hours.
I've been at FedEx all morning just talking to the guy. All right, sure.
Of course, I'd hate to do that.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
like
hate-
the things you go through.
Thank you for doing that for the small business,
Yeah, we all
Miss Yaga.
Yeah, those are definitely a lot different than the China ones from before, the Chinese ones.
Yeah, the China ones, they're more.
The more fables. This is a little more grim. Brothers, a little.
But also just grim.
Yeah, he's kind of sad.
Just like people are dying a lot and they're being really mean to their family.
It's funny how many stories are out there because it's. I don't know. I just.
Anyone can do them.
Yeah, for real. Every country just has like a bunch.
They're like,
of
we have
stories.
one kind of like that, but instead of that,
Yeah.
it's this and this. But then he's kind of sitting at the stove. So
Yeah,
part of it
and
is he's at the stove.
The king's like spying on him, and then
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That-
So why did the king?
there were so many things in that they were just like, all right, that was not relevant. The king spies on all of his servants,
But
which
it's
is
just fun to think about.
Yeah.
It's just fun to think about.
this elaborate, unneeded setup for the king has a wife.
Yeah.
He's giving birth to king. Like just the king has a wife.
but he thinks he's really manipulating everybody.
Yeah, that's true. He's a master.
But in the end,
He died.
he didn't have. He thinks he's Mr. Mastermind, but he didn't have the singing tree, the bird, or this.
None of that
the water of
felt
life.
relevant.
The water of life. He came and
He
was like,
was gonna hang out with them anyway.
but he wouldn't have been jealous.
Yeah, I guess because he was jealous.
And they were like,
The
"That's
sisters never got a comeuppance for all the evil trying to murder.
Oh, for the midwife. Yeah, I
murder
don't
these
know what's
kids
up with
and
that. Yeah.
get their sister killed.
I think that's just part and parcel with just being
It's
in
a
the
habit,
court.
so.
That's what it's like in the
It
court.
seems like we all came up. I got the king. You're with the king's other. Like we were all just like in
Yeah.
some house, and now we're in the royal family.
Yeah.
I don't know why
good.
y'all have to start plotting immediately on my ass. He's not gonna marry you if I die. Like, if I die, he's not like, oh, all right, I guess I'm just gonna marry the
the court jester's wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he will
We'll find a new youngest daughter.
Yeah, we'll find another youngest daughter. Sir, I will have your youngest daughter. I am the king.
So that's a tale for you. And a crock of butter for us.